Scott, dude, this one's very exciting. Ubisoft sent us over Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown. A while back, I went 3 hours on, previewed the game, and I was pretty high on it then. I'm even higher now. This has been crushed out the entire way. Everything from a fantastic story, which is set up with you playing as Sargon, a new Prince of Persia character who we have never experienced before, on a quest to save the kingdom, which we've heard before, right? We've heard that aspect before, but the way everything's told throughout this side-scroller Metroidvania experience, dude, it's been firing on all cylinders for me. Everything from the platforming to the exploration to the character design, the voice acting, everything is done so well. Before I keep gushing, Scott, I'm passing it over to you. I've already had hands on it for a preview, then now for review. What are your thoughts with this one?
Yeah, I had skipped out on the preview, so I get into the review code and I realize, okay, this is exactly what I was looking for. I'm going to try not to glow too hard, or we'll try and specify that down into specific elements, because this is the Metroidvania that I was hungering for, and that is expressed in all aspects of it. But like I said, we're going to get there. Firstly, let's isolate the visuals of it.
Yeah.
It's kind of a muted, kind of a toned down, or however you look at it. From another perspective, it's kind of an up-resed anime look to it. It is a little softened, but I like that look to it, and it doesn't make it seem cutting-edge new technology, but it also is something that'll look like it'll age very well. You can play this another 5-6 years down the road, and I think it'll be just the same. But you move on from that, audio-wise, just quickly touch there. It's got that nice little kind of Arabian jingle, kind of nice soundscape to it, and everything is really well voice acted. It's not a silent protagonist, and that's something I look out for nowadays. But we get into some of the overarching Metroidvania parts, and this is where, feel free to stop me, but there's firstly the map. The map is massive, and it fills out just the same way as a Metroidvania would, where you will sometimes get a waypoint given in this dark zone on the map. You have no idea where it really is. Fog of war kind of look to it. But as you explore, you find that, okay, it's a little more complicated than point A to B. You'll be dragged through other locations, different environments, and those present opportunity, just like Metroid again, to offer different enemy types, different difficulties, different puzzles. And being in the Metroidvania that is, you do have to retread through a lot of these areas too. And that is done just beautifully, because you get these extra exploration abilities. And that's sort of how the world is unlocked to you as time goes on. You go through the story, now I'm getting this feather, and this feather gives me a new ability, and now I can use that ability to progress so much further through the map. But I'm going to cut myself off there, because there's a whole lot more to be said, and I don't want to take it all on you.
Which is fair, right? Metroidvania is definitely a unique thing. You either like them or you don't. And sometimes what happens is I'm like, oh man, I have to go back all the way over there. But I never felt like I was forced to go. You have to go that way, but it wasn't like I was dreading going back. Because now I've got a new ability, which then will let me platform up to the spot I needed to go, which I couldn't do before. And then as I'm traversing through some of these puzzles, I'm like, I'm missing this. What am I missing? I'm like, yo, that's the ability I just gained like 3 other abilities ago. Now I can use this one here. And it all just kind of clicks, and then it clicks, and then it clicks again. The level design is beyond smart. It is exquisite. It is so cool. The puzzles are incredible. They are challenging. The enemies can be challenging. The boss fights are challenging and rewarding. The parry mechanic is my only problem, because sometimes when I hit parry, I'll also hit X, and then I use my Athro ability by mistake. I was like, man, it's not what I meant to do. But that's more me smashing buttons when I'm not supposed to be smashing buttons, hitting a different button instead. So that kind of weighs on me. But the overall experience, dude, The Lost Crown is starting. If this sets the tone for 2024, yo, we have another year lined up. And I can't wait. This is a fantastic game. If you want to get back into the Prince of Persia, it's definitely a different take on it, but it is worth it. It is definitely worth it. The twists in the story alone, dude, so cool, right?
Oh, when it comes to the level design, there's something I want to highlight there because you're going through these exploration chasms, these different ventures, but you always have a side objective that you can accomplish as well. There's always reason to explore, different unlocks, different upgrades, different things that you can actually use to spec your character out. There's some of these high risk, high reward kind of amulets you can add to your character, and that's something that gives me a little bit of an RPG element to it. I can kind of decide how I want to go through. But there's also the term of exploration. You're finding these different areas that you can't interact with yet, but you can leave a little memory shard, a little screen image in the game, and I think that's the smartest, most intelligent addition to a Metroidvania I've seen in 10 years at least. The idea that I don't know what to do here, screen cap, next time you look at that map you can see that screen cap, so I can go back, okay, now I can open this, I can open this, I can open this, check all the boxes off and move on through. I really love how well the level design really works, because you're getting these abilities. Now I can go through different platforming puzzle sections, and it's difficult, so there's actually difficulty behind platforming, slowly sprinkled unlocking to you, and then the actual combat can be quite really hard to beat at some points too. Different boss fights that really put you through the paces. But again, another quality of life thing, just a little touch on that too. If you die in most of these boss fights, you'll spawn right at the boss fight again. No need to go all the way through. Not at the whack whack tree, which you'll see enough of them. They're not terribly too far spread out, so that's even comforting as well.
Scott, I think it's fair to say, Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, you and I both love this game. This is already one of my Game of the Year contenders, starting off real strong, man. We'll see what else comes out this year, but to kick it off, this game's getting a 10 from me. This was perfect. It had everything firing on all cylinders, and I didn't have a problem with anything. No glitches, no hiccups, no stuttering, no delays, nothing. I have nothing bad to say.
Oh, I'm absolutely blown away by this title. I'm just a hair under you, though. 9.5 for me. This is nearly perfect, but I did have a little bit of a visual bug. It wasn't anything that broke the game. It didn't really hold me back. But just one of these walls things comes out and it just kind of stuck there. It just looked weird, but that was really the only issue I had the entire way through.